Okay, let me see if we got it going. Okay. All right. Well, we want to welcome to the March 22nd, 2021. And we're a couple days after the spring equinox. Hope everybody was able to tap in or enjoy that. And this Zoom and the next Zoom are very, very special because what has transpired, and I'll just briefly say what's happened, is that really didn't know how things were going to go until the spring equinox Saturday morning happened. But like with me, Pat, and Wanda, we follow what Spirit says. And for a while, you know, we were on the thing of we're going to work with the certain places around the planet, and it was going to be half and half of the metaphysical stuff with earth healing. And then basically Spirit just sort of like was on hold as far as the earth healing a bit. And so it's like, then we had, that's how we structure the Zoom, is to whatever shows up, and Spirit's totally in charge. It's not us. And so with that said, that during this last Saturday, the synchronicities actually before that was happening, I'll briefly say, remember that many months ago, I think it was November, that I put out a YouTube where I was saying that March is going to be a huge major shift. And what I saw was like November, December, January, February was just sort of flat, horizontal. And then it was coming up to March, and it was like a instant vertical pillar of just light going up, just like that. And that really has happened, is that March 3rd was the class where on Tesla, and that's where Tesla appeared in the classroom, that Wanda saw him, and then he connected with me later. And on March 12th, we had a very special earth healing activation for the whole Tucson, Green Valley area, portal area, huge, and have got information relating that, is why an April 5th Zoom is going to be encompassing this new galactic portal activation that's in the valley here, with all of the worldwide places that we have worked with up to date. And this is very important. And so it's going to be special. And on that day, the time is going to be 2 hours later. It's going to be 1 p.m. Arizona time or Pacific Standard Time. But that's going to be very special. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. So I'm just saying that everything has been coming to a new point of activation that is affecting the planet as far as energy consciousness. So it's like, and we're right here as part of it in the Green Valley, Tucson area, which is really awesome and powerful. It's like, thank you everyone for showing up, being here, and holding the sacred space. It takes all of us to do that. So with much gratitude.
Deb,
yeah, Sandra?
Can I interrupt just for a second? Because the standard time and daylight time is so confusing. I think we're always on Mountain Standard Time, but I think in California, it's Pacific Daylight Time. So you're saying 1 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time, which is the same as our 1 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Is that correct?
No, they're different. They're different. The 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is equal to 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, but Arizona now is on Pacific Standard Time officially. It's the same as California. It's not the same as like New Mexico or Colorado. Like California and us are the same time. But okay. New Mexico New Mexico's an hour ahead because it's on Mountain Standard Time, and we're officially went to what's called Pacific Standard Time.
So here in Green Valley, what time is it?
Right now, it's 11:06 Pacific Standard Time.
But I mean on the...
Oh, it would be 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with 1 o'clock p.m. Green Valley time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to really make sure that gets explained for that. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt, but thank you.
No, it's confusing. It'd be nice if it was all the same, but it's not for us to figure out. So we've got like 5 different parts to today. And I'd like to start out with Pat is very knowledgeable about numerology, and she's going to talk about the special aspects that are affecting us now. So Pat, turning it over to you. Got to unmute. There you go.
I'm unmuted now.
Okay.
Well, I kind of based what I did for today is based on today's date numerologically. Started out with that. So today is March 22nd, 2021, and that reduces to a 3. Now, 3 is the number of creativity and creative imagination. It can dream it and then create it. Today is also bringing the 22 energy pattern. 22 succeeds in helping others. It's a double 2, 2 and 2. 2 is a cooperative number, working with others. When you have a 22, it's working with groups of people more. But it also indicates there's a spiritual force to the number 2, and it's magnified, being a double 2, yet it's also pulled to a physical plane because it reduces to a 4. 4 is working with more the material, concrete world on one level. So the spiritual force of a 2 is magnified, yet pulled to use this light on a physical level. Today we are working with light energy and helping the earth, which is perfect energy example. We're still working with both of those energies. So it's interesting that a lot of times our meeting dates have something like that going on. Now, I just wanted to talk about Tesla working with the 369 sequence, the different octaves of 3. Again, 3's there. From a numerology point of view, 3, as I said, is a creative inspiration that comes from within a person. Very much of an inner create. It's often the number of an artist as well. Now, 6 is the next octave up, and it takes that creative spiritual force and inspiration and extends it to those around you, family, community, and it's serving others through heart energy. 6 is very much heart energy, being more activated. And it often is involved in spreading that and serving and helping and spreading that heart to those around us more. Now, 9 is the highest octave of the 3, and the 3 and the 6, and extends the heart compassion into for all humanity. Instead of being here, it's now for all of humanity. It's often called the humanitarian or philanthropist number. So personal and family needs are extended to all. So the number 9 doesn't just look at their own family and community anymore. They extend it to all of humanity. So again, service and heart energy is amplified. So that's an interesting octave of numerologically. So we tend to be on that today. But numerology, we combine, like, for example, we're combining today's energy overall with heart, with creativity and practical working together on a physical level to create something together. So that's my thing on numerology for today. Kind of inspiration of what we're doing. Deb?
There. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you for that information. And have you noticed that you've been seeing more 333s, 1111s, 111s? It's just been, the more you look for that and the more you recognize it when it does happen and honor it, the more you experience that and are able to understand that the universe is talking to you at those times. And that's why I say maybe, be watching the numbers, or if you're driving along, that it just automatically happens. And so that's just a way of, going, oh, Spirit's talking to me. And it's just, you feel gratitude for that. So yeah, thanks for the numerology wisdom. That was great, Pat. Thanks. Okay, let's go on to the next one is, okay, part of what happened on the spring equinox, which was different than any other equinox that I've experienced, was usually the most powerful time of the whole year. But what happened is Susan, which is in New Mexico, a friend of mine that when we connect, it's like she's another very galactic light worker, and we can be on the phone and start shifting and going through different dimensions when we're on the phone. And so wound up calling her that morning, and it was very synchronistic because we started shifting and getting information. And a lot of this information then I was channeling and writing down. And I'd like to go over some of the basic terminology because, you know, like Pat said, you know, I know what it means, but maybe you don't know what it means. You know, and so it would be good to get on the same page of the understanding when I speak in these woo-woo words, you could say, so that you understand what I'm trying to say. So part of that is that, like I say, when I was talking, that what happened on March 12th with the activation of Galactic portal at what I'll call Pyramid Mountain or Pyramid Hill, interesting spirit, and all these were channeled information, was spirit said, I started to write down, it's a new mission for the valley. And it was like, no, instead of new, it's a destined mission. And that word destined is what was it, 2017, 18, I started working, creating the 6 portals around in the valley, at the Tucson Green Valley area, which is the mere reflection of the Giza Plateau Fibonacci spiral that's created there. And so this place is tied to the Egyptian energies. I've talked about that before, but it's come up again because this area is destined to be this area of light. And that's what's so very important about that. And the work that we have been doing is to have that advance faster and faster. And on March 12th, with that latest galactic portal activation, it really moved it up a huge notch, huge. And then getting the information that April 5th, that we are to tie that into all of the places we've connected so far, is taking it onto a worldwide activation level that's very important. And so what we were shown that, you know, because of this being part of the destiny of the Tucson Green Valley area, is affecting the rest of the world and assisting it in the ascension. And to get a definition of what energy ascension is, it is basically the raising of consciousness through different levels of dimensional frequencies. The raising of consciousness through different levels of energy frequencies. Steve, I saw you shifting when I said that. He was, okay. It's basically where we are becoming, and this is what Spirit said months ago, is that through the Zooms and the work we're doing energetically, we are assisting us and all of you to become the new, quote, galactic human, the new galactic human. And part of that is that, like I say, I've been talking, you hear me for over a year or so now, is saying the secret is raising your vibration. And I keep harping on that, I guess you'd say. And it's so true, because raising the frequency is allowing the increased, easily intersection between us at our level and the higher dimensional beings. So it's easier for them to come down to our level, but we got to come up enough where it's easier for them. And so with this new energy ascension that's going on, we are becoming these activated fields of light, because we're going from the carbon-based physical body to the crystalline body. And you've heard me in meditations, I'm trying to get you to your light body to shift. And it was last week, a few days ago, they start in the morning, start giving me this information, and they gave me the information for the meditation we're going to do at the end of today's Zoom to really assist you in through the stages of your light field activation. And so part of that is you becoming a field of light instead of the density, and going out and being comfortable with going outside of your skin perimeter. So the what they also said is that what was anchored at that pyramid portal point was a new Ascension energy template. And a template is basically a specific model or pattern to understand what it is and what the steps or configurations are, so that other people can understand and basically interact with that template. It's holding that frequency of a certain vibration, and with the template being anchored into this Tucson Green Valley area, it's easy for us to be into that field of energy because it's being held, and then we just have to go up in vibration to the resonance pattern that it is always already holding for us. So it's like, you know, the easy way to get there, it's like it's already there and we just have to jump in like a swimming pool and then we're in it. And so it's been anchored even stronger now to this whole huge area. And so the also part of what came through when that was activated, it was a combination of galactic energies and ancient ascension energies. And what I was shown was this Aztec warrior priest showed up there along with indigenous shamans at this location. And this basically the Aztec energy, it's beyond just the Aztec in a historical configure or understanding, is that he was holding ancient wisdom from like the beginning of the whole human spiritual experience. I mean, just the divine energy, like the Egyptians of holding that ancient wisdom. And that's why, like through the portal here, and that we've been connecting with, why Isis, Thoth, and Anubis are assisting us of bringing and helping us connect with that ancient wisdom. And what they are doing with these ancient wisdoms, this energy is bringing down, anchoring in energy light codes. And the energy light codes are basically energy that is information as well as higher frequency vibration, which is assisting us in raising our frequency vibration through our light body field activations. And part of the ending part of when they had me do this meditation, there was like two parts. The first is the beginning of our physical carbon-based field. And then when we fill our body or to the skin perimeter with white light, what happened is, and I've experienced it 2 or 3 times now, and Susan, when I was talking to her, the one in New Mexico, she's also experienced it, so I'm not going crazy, is that we looked like and felt like a Casper ghost. You probably remember the cartoon, The Casper Ghost. And Spirit, when they were channeling it this last week, they're saying that is the sort of the physical representation of our transition point. We go from the physical part to a more solidified white light field, which can look like a Casper ghost. And then we transition into rays of white light energy going outward into our energy field, our light body field. And then to tap that off is a coating of bluish silvery waves of energy, bluish silvery waves of energy. And as me and Susan were talking, we seen that energy floating in the room all around us. So it's like beyond white light, it's like the culmination of creating a solidified, like I say, the new garment of light for the new galactic human. So that's probably enough on the terminology. Just give you a little more understanding about that. So like say what happened on the March 12th of activating that new portal, and it's in the desert that is sort of eastward of halfway between Green Valley and Saharita, and it's up to the mountains that is sort of have the jagged peaks. And the jagged peaks are holding galactic energy. And so there's a combination of the galactic energy, which is also tied into the Catalinas, been holding that a lot. And that's where the Galactic Federation is also at the east side. And so on April 5th, we're going to tie all these areas in we've been working with in the Bosnian pyramid, the Egyptian pyramids, Bimini, you know, everything that we've been doing. And we're getting more information to do that, even to add some more points that me, Pat, and Wanda are going to be working with before April 5th. So it's going to be affecting on a global level, which is pretty darn awesome. So I'd like to now turn this over to Pat and Wanda to add your input so others can understand more of what we've been working with and how the April 5th is going to be so profound. So I'll turn it over to you guys.
I guess I'll go first. On March 12th, when we were at the pyramid, well, we zoomed in on the Pyramid Mountain, and I saw in my mind's eye a huge vortex of wind just spiraling up into the sky and going into space, and it was pulling up. It was pulling up all the dark energy that was around the area, and shamans began to dance around the base of it, and there were ravens circling above the ground about 50 to 100 feet around this vortex, and then all of a sudden it was just a beam of white shooting up, and I pictured all the Native Americans from around the area who'd been here. They started walking into the light, and I asked, well, why were they going into the light now? And I was told that they felt that now there was sufficient people to hold the earth energy and to watch over Mother Earth, that their job was done and they could go into the light. And that's like, that was just really awesome. And throughout all of this, just seeing the shamans dancing and drumming, it was just, I could just feel the beat of the drums while I was sitting there. And it was just awesome. And to know that that beam of light, I saw the other points of the 6 points, and from Elephant Head all merged into that, and it all went into the galactic, into the forever, into the dark, lighting its way as it went. And I was told that we're close. A lot of us are very close to our ascension, and it's like, that's awesome. Very awesome. So your turn, Pat.
Well, you said it a lot. About last fall, I had had like a vision of seeing a vortex above the whole area, and souls being able to, they hadn't departed, being able to go into that, being taken up into that vortex like. And so when we were together, I also experienced the swirling light energy, very swirling. And even the wind around me was swirling around. Like accelerate at the same time. It was just very interesting, very physical, yet on another level as well. And my experience was seeing souls going through again, going up and able to go into the next dimension that they are supposed to go to, whatever dimension that is. And the shamans, a couple shamans were there, but I didn't see them dancing for me, but I did see the shamans standing and also working with this and adding energy, a number of them. So that was a very similar experience we had. But that was pretty much it. I didn't get a lot of messages. Pretty much just that.
What was interesting is right after our Zoom call on the winter solstice, that all of a sudden a message came through that there needs to be a nether portal activated, and that would, one of the purposes was to help release all the trapped spirits on Earth. So it would be an easier thing, basically, to clean up Earth before the final ascension for Gaia and humanity. And they said that this new portal that had to be activated would be sometime after January 1st. And so the timing would have to wait till 2021 began. And as this was going on, you know, January happened and February happened, you know, I'm basically saying to Paz, like, oh, what did they forget about this? You know, whatever. And it's like, don't second guess spirit, because spirit waited. And on that day, you know, March 12th, which is a 3-3, again, all these number symbology, that's when all of a sudden the spirit goes, this is it. And I was so excited, like, yay, they didn't forget. It's finally time. But, you know, I have to have patience, you know, that human thing. So it's just like, and then after this last week with all these synchronicities and finding out that this new destined mission, it's so exciting to be, how would you say, having a mission that's, you know, more definitive. And it's exciting because, you know, we're working on this and it's turning into a global level. And the work that we're doing, and that you guys are all yourselves holding special vibration and anchoring into this valley. You know, so, you know, pat yourselves on the back, every one of you, for doing this. So are there any other questions about, we're going to talk a lot more about it on the April 5th thing, because like I say, me and Wanda and Pat have more certain areas that we need to get together, and we're going to create a world map and try to link all these together to be able to show, you know, how they're all connected. And like I say, we're just playing it by ear as far as just what we're told. And so as soon as we know, we'll let you know. So, but so we'll be sending out the link for that and more information regarding that. Pat and Wanda, do you have anything more related to the April 5th and anything?
Yes, actually, I was sitting relaxing yesterday afternoon, knitting. All of a sudden, I had, Wanda, I need your help. Wanda, I need your help. And it was Isis came to me and said that there were other places needed to be cleansed before April 5th. But she also stated that all of us as a group need to partake in this, to add all of our energies in. And if there's anyone who doesn't understand what's happening, to ask questions about it. But she said it's imperative, was the word she used, that we all join in together for oneness to help get this all happening. So I said, okay, I will mention that. So.
The last time I was with Deb and I were together a couple days ago, Isis came also. Isis seems to be a figure that does appear. So I think one of the things to understand, that I'm beginning to understand more about, when certain beings appear in a certain form, is they might have been in that form when they were on Earth, you know, way, way back. So that's why they still retain some sense. And then it's also symbolic on some level. So Isis has a strong feminine protection type of energy. And so she seems to enjoy working with us on some level. And I had seen a need for activating some energy, putting more energy into some areas just north of Tibet and into China and south, a little more southern. So I'm still trying to pinpoint those specifically from what I saw, because I'm not really good with that level of geography. But there's definitely some things going up starting in the eastern areas that are looking for more energizing and awakening. So that's interesting that we both, I think four of us, so three of us had Isis come recently. So that was kind of interesting.
And also when I was talking to Susan, it's in New Mexico on the equinox. Coincidentally, she just decided the evening before that she's leaving New Mexico and going over to the North Carolina, South Carolina area to an area that's just above this area that she experienced before that is extremely powerful. She said it felt like new ascension energies. And it's close to, what's that special place over there on the East Coast? It's like a metaphysical mecca. Asheville, North Carolina. Yeah. It's a little bit southwest of Asheville, North Carolina. And for some reason, Spirit just told her to go over it. And then as we're talking, we both saw a line from this Green Valley, Tucson area going to this new area on the East Coast. And Spirit said, we're going to be connecting the East with the West. And this is huge. And so she's going there physically to anchor and be caretaker of those energies over there. I mean, it's just amazing how these synchronicities are happening. So we'll send out information beforehand and maybe try to get that map together and different pictures so that you'll be able to have the photographs because, the energy comes off the photographs and it's just like being there. And so you'll have that beforehand and we'll send it out to the whole group and whoever wants to participate. But we also have the replays on. So that's that. So let me go on to one other thing we get to the last part is that I had sent out in the last email a practice if people wanted to go to Saguaro and a Joshua tree and ask them what their different purposes are. And I was told this many times, and I was out walking with Pat one day and I asked her to check in with that, and she got the same answer. That the Saguaros, that's the right, how you pronounce it, they are more earth-based.
Saguaros. Saguaros.
That word, yeah. That that is more earth-based grounding energy, more working with the nature spirit, that's that vibration. But the Joshua trees are receiving stations for high galactic energy. And I've always loved the Joshua trees so much more than the other one, just because it's got the higher galactic energy. And so say, I don't know if you got the same thing, but that's what I've got and other people have got. So that was sort of the answer to that spiritual exercise if you did that. So, okay. Now let's go on to like with the new ascension, we are in it. We're not waiting for it. I know there were some people, they said there has to be the 3 days of darkness. And, that's from an old, how many decades ago, metaphysical idea. And it's like, no, we're into it now. 2020 we're getting into it. And this 2021 is just going gangbusters into it. And the people, they can be into it now vibrationally. The more they work at it, it's just easier. And part of that is you become more sensitive to energies out from people, from world consciousness, from cultural energies, and all that is because of this conscious awakening. Our light field is becoming more sensitive, and because of that, it's like we're almost all empaths. Do you ever go into like Walmart and like what that feels like versus if you're out in nature or a very sacred space? I mean, to me, it's like, it's just crazy. Or in a lot of groups of people, it's like almost like daggers coming into my light body field. Everybody's got different levels of sensitivity, and I can't even buy used clothes. when I've gone to the white elephant and I would touch some of the garments, I would feel the energy of the other people. It's like, oh, there's no way I'm going to take this home. And then I wear their vibration. So I don't know, does anybody else feeling this increased sensitivity? If you want to just raise your hand or whatever to know if you got more sensitive to it. Yeah, yeah.
I've always been sensitive to the energy of things and clothes. You know, like even old furniture.
Yeah.
Well, that can carry interesting energy. Go into stopping and just sensing the energy and not just the beauty of a piece, because some pieces are very beautiful, but and some of the energies are fine. But generally, when you wear something, you might want to cleanse it before you wear it, as much as you can if it's used.
Right. Right. And they say that leather furniture carries vibration, and when anybody sits on it, it holds that vibration. And so I personally will not have leather furniture because of that. At least I don't think I have. Maybe my chairs are. Uh-oh. I have to see on that. But
yeah, I'm with you on that.
yeah,
Leather stuff.
right, right. You know, but I've also found that it's okay to set. Oh, so Sandra, do you have your hand up?
Yes, because I was just wondering, how do you cleanse them then? Do you use sage? Do you do a prayer? Or how do you cleanse the clothes and the furniture and things like that?
You know, it's a combination of what you find works for you, because everybody has an opinion. You know, sage, just do your intent, but you know, wave crystals over it. Find what really works. That's why I say there's no rules. You don't need to follow what other people say. Follow what works for you, and experiment and find what works for you. And to be able to feel the difference before and after. Like say for me, I can't handle working with tobacco, which a lot of Native American ceremonies work with. I just won't do it. It doesn't resonate with me, but I'll work with sage or I'll work with sweetgrass. So I say, find your own path, your own way to do it, and ask the spirit of maybe the object, because it's carrying that energy, you know, and just ask. So it's a matter of empowering yourself to get your own answers and own directive.
One of the things
Go ahead.
one of the things I find that helps, that I've found that you might want to try, is putting the article in the sun. Like if it's cloth or something like that too. The sun and the moon can both, moonlight and sunlight in fresh air, seems to start to dissipate some of the energy in a fabric. That's what I found. So it's something to try as well, especially with crystals. It works well too.
Marge, you got your hand open or up? Maybe she did, or
okay. I think music can be very powerful for changing energy too. Music from, I don't know any names, but I used to work in a Sikh place, and they played their music all the time. And just walking in there, it felt high and light. So just
very
an
good.
idea.
Or like, you know, Dr. Emoto's experiments with water. You could maybe write out the word love on a piece of paper and put it on the article, just like what he did with the water, and was been able to show the crystalline structure of it was shifted because of that. You know, it's a lot of it. It's intent. I think it boils down to intent and working with energy to shift these things. And
I've got something.
Go ahead.
I'm going to interrupt real quick here. My family and I ask the angelic realm to clear all low vibration essence from our home, from our cars, from articles, and whatever we bring into our house. And we automatically feel that shift when it's taken away. It goes from heavy, you know, a heavy dark feeling sometimes to light, airy. You can actually feel the shift, and that's how we do a lot of our cleansing, is that asking the angelic realm to assist us.
Yeah, it's always good to ask your spiritual helpers, be they from the angelic realm, whatever, galactic beings, you know, whatever, and to create a partnership with these beings and connecting with them always. And is regarding the importance of energy sovereignty, and that it's okay to set your personal energetic boundaries. And just as a personal story to explain that, because I'm so sensitive, that it was over a year ago, year and a half ago, that there was a group, and and the metaphysical groups, a lot, part of it is at the end you do the hugging, everybody hugs, and because I'm so sensitive, I didn't like that. It just it's I feel the energy, and it just actually sometimes it's like needles coming into my field, and it's not comfortable. So I was trying to tell them, I said, I would appreciate if you didn't hug me, just because I respect my energy boundary, and my energy boundary, but it's out some feet from actual me, the physical perimeter. And part of it is when they want to hold the hands, his two people on both sides of me, they went and they started holding their own hands and going in front of me, like pushing me out of the group. And I got offended at that, because wait a minute, why are you doing this? Don't you understand? We are all energy. We do not have to touch to create a circle of energy. And I said, let's try this. And the group did it for one time. Is I say, just put your hands out, one hand up, one hand down, not touching, but feeling the energy come on each other's palms. And we created a circle of energy. And I said, isn't this okay? And it was interesting to see some people are still, it's okay to touch. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying the people who are really sensitive, it's good to honor their sensitivity and maybe ask them, are you into accepting a hug or not? Because our energy field goes out many feet. And so that's why I'm saying it's okay to set these energetic boundaries, especially because we're going into higher ascension energies and we're becoming more sensitive. So that's that story.
Well,
And
one thing,
go ahead.
can I say something? I'm sorry, with this topic. One of the things you can also do is to project loving energy out, heart energy out, because when you're around other people, instead of just taking it in and being too defensive, I found from my life, because I was always very energetically sensitive and didn't know how to deal with it, that when I started to project energy love out more and just kind of project it more when I'm around people, they tend to go a little far away sometimes, but it's mellower, so it's another way of also not taking it in as much. So that's another thing to think about.
Yeah, and that's good, so that the next topic is like, well, what techniques can we do? And the traditional one is just enveloping yourself in pure white divine light. White light is either like a cocoon of light, a column of light, and again, it's the intent. And if you set that, you are working with energy to transform it into what your desired intent is. And another one is creating a cloak of invisibility. I think I picked up on that from watching the Harry Potter movie. I thought it was so cool, where he did that, and I tried it and it works for me. You might want to experiment, find what works for you. Is I imagine a cloak of invisibility, but I'm in my white light field. And then I also personally use a bluish silvery outline around my white light field. So does anybody else want to share what their, how they protect or keep their energy field? Yes, Claudia?
Yeah, I've been using the invisibility for years, or like even drawing cloaking around a space if I want to not be interrupted. And it works like a charm. It's really cool. And the other thing, my mom always taught us to use a circle of protection, but the circle didn't feel right to me. It didn't feel like it was connected enough. And so I would draw a square. And I had some experiences in my 30s where we had some bad stuff coming in, and I didn't know why. And I would draw the square around myself for protection. And I could literally feel that energy recoil once it hit those boundaries and just zing away. And it was and I still use it as needed. That just seems more concrete, because I just can just square that thing up as many times as I need to, so that's
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and another thing, if you start sensing sacred geometry patterns in your energy field, is do them like with my angelic Merkaba. I can imagine that I'm inside a huge angelic Merkaba, and that by itself is creating an energetic field. And then you program that field of what you want. And like see on my website, you can go there and the pictures of all those angelic Merkabas, maybe, you know, screenshot it and print it out. And then you can take that picture. I've done this to a group that was in Sedona. I was teaching about this, that they would put it on that picture of the angelic Merkaba on a piece of paper onto place it on their chest, their heart center, and then place it on their third eye. They could feel the energy going into their body just through that picture, that, you know, on a piece of paper. So I say you can experiment with different sacred geometries, maybe just triangles, you know, whatever a symbol or a spiral or whatever works for you. And to solidify the intent of your own protection, your own energetic safe boundary. But like, again, like Pat was saying, you know, sending out love, but you're not allowing any negativity to come into your field. You know, that's sort of a two-way street, protection, and also, you know, sending it out to others, because we're all just beings of light. So any question on that topic or anything so far? Okay.
One thing I wanted to say is, I think when we recognize that people, wherever we are, they are also beings of spiritual beings of light. And when you speak out mentally to that part of them, you get a better response. There's actually something, I don't know how to explain it, but there is something that happens that soul recognizes soul when it's done that way.
Yes,
So
yes.
you
You know, and it's like in the movie Cocoon, in that part where that alien lady took off her skin suit and just was her light energy, and then the human guy, I don't know if you've seen the movie part, where then her energy field was swirling and moved into his physical body. And that is awesome, you know, and that's where we're getting to, because when we've connected, and I know especially when me and Pat have gone back to our galactic home as these, you know, we're not humans. And we go there as this light and energy, that's how we interact, as light and energy. And it's not through a physicality, and it's so more freeing and so awesome. And all of Earth and humanity's getting to that point. That's the whole purpose of Ascension. So we're getting there. So, yeah. Okay, I think we got time now let's do that meditation. And like, see, this is the meditation points that Spirit channeled through. And part of it's the point of going from the carbon-based physicality and then going into a more solidified field of light that's filling your skin perimeter. And you may or may not sense it as, and I just say, to me, it was like, reminded me that when I was in that, I was like a Casper ghost. That's what it just reminded me of. But I'm not going to say it during the meditation. So I'll just say more of solidified white light. And then going to rays of light coming outside of the skin perimeter of the white light. And it's like you become a porcupine of light. You know how the porcupine quills go out. And that experience of you are just a field of rays of light energy. And then at the end, we're going to coat that with the bluish silvery covering. And how does it sound that I also will conclude that and just let you go into, I'll just, you know, go in quiet, stop the meeting. And if you wish to continue being in that space, you can do it. How about a raise of hands? Is that okay? That's what you'd like? Just let it keep going. Okay, good, good. I like that. So we'll do that. So you can just enjoy it as long as you want. And I suggest, oh, Spirit also said that this meditation was preparing everybody for the April 5th light work that needs to be done. So this will be recorded, and between now and April 5th, if you want to go back to that part in the YouTube channel replay. I'll get that out, the next day or two, to listen to it, to reinforce it. That would really help raise your vibrational and your frequency and awaken your light body field for the work that we're doing on April 5th. So, okay, so everybody, if you want to get ready, if you want to undo your video, if you want to black it out or whatever, it's up to you. And make sure you're all muted. Okay. All right. Okay, with your eyes closed, just feel yourself going in to your quiet inner space. For those who like to use their breath, they can let the slow rhythm of the breath, the in and out rhythm, to just take you into this peaceful space. Or just through your intent to connect with that divine light inside of you. And perhaps focusing this divine light inside of you for right now, the heart center, which is the balance point of the energetic chakra system, the center of love and compassion. See, feel, or imagine this ball of light in the center of your being. And in this special area, we're going to go deeper inside. So imagine your awareness going deeper into this center point as they're going through like a cavern of caves, going deeper and deeper within. That this pathway curves around like a spiral, going deeper inside to the central point in your light field. We're getting closer and closer to the very core of this light. Feeling yourself weaving, spiraling closer to the very center. And as you get closer, you may feel or sense that the light gets brighter. And now as you come around that last little curve, you enter the very center, eternal, divine spark of light of your essence. It has been from the beginning of time, the eternal aspect of your soul. And as you may see, feel this beautiful, brilliant white light merge now with this eternal divinity of your essence. Feeling how it's one with the creator and source, the purest light, where you are reconnecting with the essence of your ascension consciousness, being rebirthed, reactivated. And now, as you embody, you are that eternal spark of divine light. Start to expand it now from that center of your core, which is in the heart center, going outward. First going downward, filling the physical shell of the stomach, the hips, the light going down the legs, down to the feet. And now from your center core, that eternal white light is going up the spine, filling the chest, into the shoulders, the arms, to the hands, the throat, and now filling the head, encompassing all of your energy field in this highest eternal divine light. And as this light fills your physical skin perimeter, you may notice that this white light is more of a gelatinous or more of a rubbery substance because it is solidifying your light. But this light is going even further now, going into a higher vibration. And as it goes higher, it's going to become a frequency that is lighter and lighter, shifting from the more solidified light to more pure, airy light. So now, with your intent, send this eternal light of your divinity outward from your skin perimeter, just like a porcupine of light would be. Rays of light coming out from every cell of the physical body as that light shifts into finer and finer vibration, and going out as far as it feels comfortable, maybe a few feet around your physical perimeter, or maybe filling the whole house, whatever feels comfortable, or even out further. And I'm going to be quiet for just a couple minutes where you really feel yourself shift into the finer, higher frequency of this pure light essence, rays of light. to complete this higher consciousness energy light field. See, feel, or imagine it now coated in very light, wavy energy of bluish silvery color. Those light colors, very subtle, surrounding and swirling around your light field. And now you can take this completed light energy, and if you decide to flow it out into the galaxy or go wherever you travel, enjoy this new energy garment of light. And I will sign off, but let you continue to feel this new ascended energy light field.